earlier, just a little while ago, I talked to Kellyanne Conway, counselor to President Donald Trump, with some more details on what we can expect to hear specifically in just under 2 hours. Watch this. What do you think the president's main goal is this evening? What does he want people to walk away from this speech with?
Martha, thanks for having me. It is indeed a big night here for President Trump. It's a beautiful speech that will be delivered from the heart. He has written and rewritten passages of it over time. And I think he seeks to do a few things tonight. One is to really detail those accomplishments that he's had in the first few weeks of his early administration, to show that he has kept the promises made to the American people, and then to preview what's to come for a man who really does take action and have impact on a day-to-day basis. He'll talk about health care tonight, the border. He'll talk about our relations around the globe. He will talk about education. He's honoring some of his special guests tonight. I had occasion to meet with a number of them today. A very exciting day here. It's a rare disease day, and he will be honoring Megyn Crowley, who has Pompei's disease, an affliction, a rare disease where young people were not expected to live past the age of 5. She's 20 years old and a sophomore at Notre Dame.
She has a great story. I read that earlier. You know, in terms of the communications, he said this morning that he feels that he or his people have not explained what he wants to do clearly enough. What is it that he needs to fix? What does he want to fix in that regard tonight?
Well, the president has said many times, Martha, that he's surprised the coverage never really got better from when he was a candidate to when he was elected, the president-elect, and now the president of the United States. And he has a point. Not everywhere, not with everyone. But he just wants fair coverage, and I would also argue for full coverage. So he has, including today, he's put forth close to 30, probably about 25 or so executive actions of some sort. And 1 or 2 have gotten all the coverage. I mean, just today, H.R. 321, the Inspire Act that encourages NASA to involve young girls in their science and space programs. Very exciting. He's very committed to it. We just want full coverage of everything that he's doing. People can criticize it. They can ask the tough questions about it, but it ought to be covered. So that's it. He gave himself an A for effort and for accomplishment because he knows every single day he wakes up and he is determined to fulfill more of those promises. From a communications perspective also, I think the president is his own best spokesperson. So when he goes out tonight in that joint session, when he does things like the rally in Florida, when he gives a press conference that's 77 minutes long and takes 17 questions from reporters, that is Donald Trump, I think, at his finest, because he is the one connecting and communicating like no one else can directly with the American people. And tonight at the joint session, certainly the great opportunity for that.
It is indeed. We look forward to it, but we got to ask you one last question, because one of the hottest stories out there is you sitting on the couch with your shoes dug into the back of the couch. Do you want to explain anything about that, since it just seems to be everywhere today?
I heard it went viral. I really have been very busy doing other things, but I have to thank Omarosa Manigault, because apparently she gave all the quotes about the situation there to the Washington Post, at least, where I was asked to take the picture. We had a crowded room. We'd never had so many people in the Oval Office in this young administration gathering of men and women at one time to take a picture. So as Omarosa pointed out, there was literally nowhere to stand. The press had come in, and a couple of them had asked me to take pictures and texted to them right away, and I did that. I just snapped at that angle. I needed to get the better angle. I hope people are showing that. And then I texted it to a few of them, and then it was over in a matter of very quick moments. So I, of course, respect the office of the president and its current occupant. I'm glad there's such a renewed interest in showing respect for the office of the president. Let's hope that trend continues. But obviously, I meant no disrespect. I'm just always amazed what actually qualifies as news on a day when there is so much of it. And I would really just implore people to look at the substance of what the president is doing with historically black colleges and universities. I had occasion to meet with a number of them yesterday and today, and I really want to applaud their work.
Well,
and
we were honored, signing of that bill
to
today.
have them here.
Thank you very much, Kellyanne. Good to see you. Big night, of course, and we'll all be watching with live coverage. Thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you all very much. I appreciate you being here. We have a number of bills that we're signing and things that we're doing today. It's a busy day, and then I guess tonight will be a rather busy night. We look forward to it. I want to thank Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy, who's been a tremendous friend to a lot of people. He's done an amazing job And Kevin, I want to thank you for being here. Very much appreciated. It had so much to do with this. I also want to thank everyone else who's with us today. In fact, I have some names, and I'll read some of them off because not everybody knows everybody, but you have Leader McCarthy, Representative Barbara Comstock, Lamar Smith. Thank you, Lamar, very much. I appreciate it. Joni Ernst, who's been a terrific, terrific senator, very talented woman, and a very good military person.
Thank
very
you.
good military person. And Deb Fisher, thank you very much. Thanks. Thank you very much. We also have Senator Barrasso and Senator Bozeman. Joni, we said hello. Deb, we said hello. Heidi Heitkamp, thank you, Heidi. Senator Jim Inhofe, Senator Pat Roberts, Senator Dan Sullivan, Representative Bob Gibbs, Bill Schuster, and Representative Lamar Smith. We really appreciate you being here. And of course, we have our new SBA Director, Linda McMahon, and Secretary DeVos. So we have a lot of great talent. Today I'm signing two bills that promote women entering and leading the STEM field: science, technology, engineering, and math. Currently, only 1 in 4 women who gets a STEM degree is working in a STEM job, which is not fair, and it's not even smart for the people that aren't taking advantage of it. It's unacceptable that we have so many American women who have these degrees, but yet are not being employed in these fields. So I think that's going to change. It's going to change very rapidly. Protecting women with STEM degrees and all Americans with STEM degrees, very important. But it also means you have to crack down on offshoring, because the offshoring it's a tremendous problem that displaces many of our best American workers and brains, the brain power. So I just want to thank you all for being here. Vice President Pence always felt very, very strongly about this issue and many others, and I appreciate, Mike, I appreciate that very much. And I'm going to sign this right now, and I want to congratulate everybody in the room. And we have to sign it today. I know we have a lot of things coming on later on, but if we don't sign this one and the next one today, we have to start the process all over again, Joni, right?
Yes.
I think that's not good. So that's why we're here. Okay, well, thank you very much. And you can... Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, we look forward to it. We look forward to it. Okay.
Did you pull the talking sheet out?
Yeah, I have it in here. Okay, I think we all know what this is. Even though somebody took my notes, it makes no difference.
It's the second bill you just read. We're going to
It
do it.
really makes no difference. But this is the second bill that we're signing, and that's the HR 321, the Inspire Women Act.
That's very good.
Ensures that the existing NASA programs recruit women to STEM-related jobs and aerospace careers. Great. It's really, we're going to go very heavy into the whole NASA situation. So women will be a big, big part of it. HR 255, the Promoting Women in Entrepreneurship Act, enables the National Science Foundation to support women inventors, of which there are many, researchers and scientists, in bringing their discoveries to the business world, championing science and entrepreneurship, and creating new ways to improve people's lives. So important. We need policies that help support women in the workforce, and that's really very much going to be addressed.
Manufacturing, you have first-hand experience with the building blocks of the American economy. You've also seen for yourself the struggles that American workers can face in difficult times. And your stewardship of companies, one after another, have time and again saved thousands of jobs and put those companies and firms in a position to survive and thrive in the years ahead. It is a credit to your ability and to your dedication to the American worker. Now, President Trump has called on you to serve your country as Secretary of Commerce, and given your decades of experience, your record of leadership, your integrity, and your commitment to protecting America's economic future, President Trump and I have full confidence that you will succeed. And when you succeed as Secretary of Commerce, you will help America succeed to a more prosperous future. Now, on behalf of President Trump, it's my great privilege to administer to you the oath of office. Please place your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I, Wilbert Lewis Ross, Jr., do solemnly swear
I, Wilbur Lewis Ross, Jr., do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely,
that I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
of the office upon which I'm about to enter.
of the office on which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
But it's not their fault. Don't forget, I've only been here for like 4 weeks. Somebody said, he hasn't done health care. They've been working on health care for 30 years. I've only been here for, what is this, my 5th week? And we're set to propose a plan, and I'll be talking about it, as you know, tonight. But we're all set to do a plan, and I think it's going to be something that's going to be really respected. And you take a look at what's going on with the stock market. Trillions of dollars of value have been created since I won the election. I mean, trillions. No, I mean, the stock market's very enthused, and that's jobs.
But I just have to bring back 2 things in your cabinet. You have an OMB director, finally. He said you have to take an axe to entitlements. Your Treasury Secretary says we're not touching it. Who's right?
Well, I'll tell you who's right. If the economy sails, then I'm right, because I said I'm not touching Social Security.
So your OMB is wrong.
I'm not saying anybody's wrong. I'm just saying this. If we, and I think this is what's going to happen, Brian, I think our country's going to sail.
Mr. President, you announced via Twitter the other day you're not going to go to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. How come?
Well, I am not a hypocrite, and I haven't been treated properly, and that's okay, which is fine. You know, let everybody treat
Some of the
me.
left say you just can't take it.
Maybe we'll have a small, oh no, do they say that? No. Well, I've taken it. Do you know, one of the great misconceptions, when President Obama was up, was it now, a long time ago, 5 years ago or whatever, I loved that evening. I had the greatest time. I was there.
You were the target.
I was the target.
You were the piñata.
And can I be honest? I had the greatest time. Now, I can't act like I'm thrilled because they're telling jokes. I mean, he was telling jokes. I'm going to change the name of the White House to Trump House and other things. And he was I thought he did a good job, and he was very respectful, and it was fun. And I enjoyed it. And I left, and I told the press, they were all said, did you have a good time? I said, it was fantastic. The next day I read Donald Trump felt terrible about the evening. I loved the evening. I had a great time.
You said before, I could take hits when it's justified.
Correct,
right?
100%.
Can you give me an example of a time when someone was critical of you and you thought to yourself, I deserve that hit. I deserve that column.
No,
I deserve
probably I could never do that.
But
I'm not going to give you any ideas.
No, but
I'm not going to give you any
past,
ideas.
do you ever think to yourself, wow, I kind of screwed that up. I kind of deserved that hit.
Yeah, sure. And you know what, honestly, if I do that, if that does happen, and if I take a hit, I won't give you any additional ammunition. But over the years, you make a mistake. I fully understand when they hit you. But when they make stories up, when they create sources, because I believe that sometimes they don't have sources. You know, the sources don't exist. And sometimes they do exist. I'm not saying all sources, but I believe that a lot of the sources are made up. A lot of the stories are made up. I believe a lot of the stories are pure fiction. They just pull it out of air. I just thought, in light of the fact of fake news and all of the other things that we're talking about now, I thought it would be inappropriate.
Too cozy?
No, not too cozy. I think that, look, I have great respect for the press. I have great respect for reporters and the whole profession. Now, with all of that being said, I just thought it would be better if I didn't do the dinner. That doesn't mean I'm not going to do it next year, but I just thought it would be better if I didn't do that.
Mr. President, the Oscar Awards, Jimmy Kimmel, he was tweeting, he was saying some crude comments. He insinuated, at least, that you were racist. What's your response?
Well, look, you know, it just seems the other side, whenever they are losing badly, they always pull out the race card. And I've watched it for years. I've watched it against Ronald Reagan. I've watched it against so many other people. And they always like pulling out the race card. The fact is, I did pretty well, much better than past people in the Republican Party in the recent election.